Hi everyone, and welcome to my series where basically we give thanks to those people who've kept the ukulele spirit going through these difficult times. It would be so easy for everybody just to say, oh, we'll just wait until it all sorts itself out. But no, a lot of people have really thought outside the box and gone to online activities instead of meeting face to face. So I'm literally going to go around the world, and today I'm going to start in Northern Virginia. And the Northern Virginia Ukulele Society is led by the one and only Mr. Moses Kamai. Hi Moses, how are you doing?
How you doing, Peter? And we're doing well over here. How's the weather in England?
Well, it's winter, and we're starting to get frost on the windscreens, etc., etc. But it is winter after all, so no worries there. Thanks very much for taking the time to have a chat with me today. And as I say, this is giving thanks to you and others I'm going to be interviewing in the forthcoming days. Why don't you tell me who we've also got on the screen here?
To my right, I have David Bartell. He's our videographer, but he's also sort of like my operations chief who helps me in all of the different events. And then there's Faith Van Wig. She helps me arrange music, scores it out in actual standard notation so that we could produce recording tracks for each of the ensemble members to practice their vocals before they do a video recording.
Wow, wow. Sounds like you got a good team there. So I want to take you back to probably March of 2020 when things started getting quite serious with COVID. And here in the UK, basically we were in a lockdown situation. So all my touring had to stop and I had to think of doing things online. What did you do around that time? It may have been slightly afterwards for yourselves in the States, but what was the first thing that you realized that you had to do?
Okay, I already teach remotely for, I have a couple of students that are outside of the Virginia area. So I was already doing remote. We were using Skype instead of Zoom. But
Mhm.
right when the pandemic hit, I realized my gear that I have wasn't going to cut where we needed to go so that we can expand how to keep the society and my students engaged.
Yeah.
So I had to upgrade a lot of gear. And from there, the idea that hit me that what I needed to do was take all of our in-person meetings and turn them into virtual sessions. So we have basically 5 events that occur on the second and fourth Sundays. The 2 events on the second Sunday, which is a primer, a 30-minute primer with beginners and intermediates, and then we have a group lesson, and that's open to all levels.
Hmm.
And then on Sundays, we have a primer, a jam session, then an open mic. So I had to have gear, streaming software, and all that. It wasn't always successful. I mean, David can tell you there were times where everything totally locked up because of something I configured incorrectly, and then we had to abandon it for that weekend, and then we continued. But we got better and better every month that we went on, realizing that was the only way we were going to be able to connect everybody. So that's kind of what I'll let David talk now about kind of the role he played in helping the virtualizing all of the things that we did over the last 2 years, pretty much.
Great.
David?
Yeah, at the beginning, as Moses said, we had some capability for doing online because we're both in the high tech industry and happen to have cameras and things like that. And I had been doing the video of our events when we were doing more live events
Hmm.
and cleaning up the audio and doing some things like that. So we were kind of in a way ready to go. I think both of us and some others in the group were doing remote work as well for quite a while in the high tech industry with good bandwidth and things like that. So we sort of had an idea. The challenge was how to do it for music. And, we tried, doing live sing-alongs. That didn't work because of the latency and different tools and lots of trial and error. But we eventually got it going and kept a core of our membership coming in every 2 weeks.
Well, I'm
And that
sure.
was the fun part. And that was the society piece.
Right.
So then the ensemble piece, which is the members, volunteers from the society that want to take their musicianship up one more level. And that's the folks you see behind me that are following is we have our general rehearsals on Thursday here at the Music Spectrum School of the Arts, who are one of our sponsors. We get this studio every week to rehearse in.
Wow.
So one of the things is that before we were able to meet again, everybody was sitting locked down in their homes.
Hmm.
And there was no way to be able to practice dynamics and blending. So I had to come up with an idea that we tried, and it worked, on how do we get people to play against a song where they don't hear anybody else. It's themselves, something in the ear that's going and maybe playing their part of the song. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm also going to introduce Faith, because she was very instrumental in helping me get that second part done. So, Faith, why don't you take it from here?
Hi, Faith.
Sure. Hello. So as Moses mentioned, my name is Faith Van Wig. I was a part of the ensemble that we've been talking about for 2 years while I was living in EC, and then randomly in January 2020, I actually moved across the US to Portland, Oregon. So once things started going virtual, I received emails from Moses saying, would you like to participate in these virtual sessions again, since everyone's going virtual anyway? And so that's kind of how I was reintroduced into the ensemble. And from there, it was able to help with the arrangements that Moses has created for this ensemble. So at the beginning, we would be playing our ukuleles and singing, and David would work on making a cohesive video out of all of our videos. And so my job of that was to record at very least my portion and perform it. But then as the pandemic continued, the need arose for a virtual score that we haven't had in the ensemble yet. Mm-hmm. And so I really helped with creating this virtual score and making sure the arrangement that Moses has in his head is written out in standard notation for the members. And then from this virtual score, creating cut tracks with the metronome in the back to allow the members of the ensemble to play together. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of where I've been able to help the most is creating these scores and helping with making these standard notation instead of following along with the leader and then learning the song that way.
So basically, the group learned to adapt to the situation, and it sounds like you're a great team. You all took on various tasks, and because no one person can do everything, can they? So I think it's great what you've told me today. We're going to take a little break there, and maybe if the ensemble's ready, we could get the ensemble to play a tune for us. So we'll take a little break there. So Moses, what are you going to play us out with?
So I'm going to play a song from Dr. Dennis, or Reverend Dennis Kamakahi, rest his soul. He's a very prolific music writer in Hawaii, and the song that we are actually going to perform was a song that he wrote for his wife, or then it was his girlfriend, that he proposed to her, and it's called Honey Flower, which doesn't exist, but the song's called Pua Hone.
Fantastic. Take it away.
That's a short version there for you, Peter.
That was absolutely fabulous, fabulous. Thank you to everybody for allowing me to sort of interrupt your rehearsal. This has been real fun to do. And as I said right at the beginning, this is a thank you from me, but also everybody watching who've, to yourselves, who've managed to keep this thing going throughout the pandemic. And it's just absolutely wonderful. So until we meet in person, aloha.
Aloha. And I do want to make one shout out there, Peter. If they go to and they search on YouTube for Northern Virginia Ukulele Society, they'll run into our channel. They'll see the recording products that we put out there as a result of the 2 years we're trying to keep our skills up until we were able to go back and do some live performances. And you'll see the results of what Faith was doing to help me, each vocal or different parts of the vocal harmonies or the melodies, was her putting together all of these scores for us.
Fantastic. That's really good.
Okay, but thank you for the opportunity, Peter. This is great.
No problem. Okay. Aloha.
Aloha.